Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Rising. Saagar, what are we doing?
We have an amazing and very tired show for you today. We have
High
Julia
energy,
Manchester.
but inside we're tired.
Yeah, that's right. Julia Manchester. She's live on the ground from Atlanta, thehills.com's reporter. Adam Green, of course, from the PCCC. He's going to talk to us a little bit about Medicare for All polling that he has there. And, of course, Elizabeth Warren's response from last night. And then the RNC, Liz Harrington, she's going to join us to talk about the DNC tried to slip past everybody, how broke they are, literally in the middle of that debate. It's kind of a disaster, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Indeed. We're also looking at, though, that testimony yesterday from the impeachment hearings that, of course, made a lot of news. Gordon Sondland saying that, you know, there was a quid pro quo, at least with respect to a White House visit, and he thought that there was one with respect to military aid itself. He said it went to the top. He threw literally everyone under the bus. And it was, of course, a major topic at the debate last night, both on the stage and in the spin room. Let's take a look.
Well, Rachel, sadly, we have a president who is not only a pathological liar, he is likely the most corrupt president in the modern history of America. But we cannot simply be consumed by Donald Trump. Because if we are, you know what? We're going to lose the election. Right now, you got 87 million people who have no health insurance or are underinsured. We're facing the great existential crisis of our time in terms of climate change. You got 500,000 people sleeping out on the street, and you got 18 million people paying half of their limited incomes for housing.
In the case that impeachment does go to the Senate, how will you balance the campaign trail and going back to Capitol Hill to handle impeachment?
Look, first of all, I swore an oath to do my job as a senator. And that's what I'm going to do. Politics, campaign, I'm sorry. I swore an oath, and I will do my job, and we'll have to figure out the politics of it.
Do you feel that too much time was spent on impeachment this debate?
You know, I think it's topical in the news. I think that it's probably not the biggest issue for this campaign. Even as someone who started the Need to Impeach movement and stepped up and told the truth about it 2 years ago when no one else wanted to and got the American people involved, my belief is what we should be talking about is what I was trying to talk about is going forward, what is it we're trying to do for the American people and what kind of future are we trying to create?
That's kind of remarkable, actually, that Tom Steyer, who spent so much money putting himself in ads saying we have to impeach this guy, even he is like, this isn't what we should be spending all our time on.
It's like, oh, God, you know, if Tom Steyer is wiser than the Democrats here in D.C. who are pursuing Washington, good luck, everybody. The Need to Impeach guy knows more about impeachment than you, which is that you have to have a forward-looking vision for the country. You can't just turn this into a referendum about Trump. Only two candidates on the stage were willing to say that last night. Bernie Sanders and well, he didn't even get to, Yang didn't even get the chance to say it on the stage, but he said it in the past. We actually know where he stands on that. In both cases, they were like, look, if you turn this thing into just about Trump and not about the underlying issues and the symptoms or the problems that led to so many people willing to take a chance on this guy, then you're going to fall flat on your face. And both those candidates truly understand what is going on.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Sanders really got it right when he said, look, we know what happens. We know what happens if you make the election all about Trump. It ends with Trump getting 4 more years in the White House. I mean, that's what this looks like. I thought in some ways last night's debate showed the perils of the track that Democrats are going on, even on the biggest day they've had so far in the impeachment inquiry with this bombshell testimony, quid pro quo, all this stuff. Even then, look, they had to acknowledge that in the debate. And what does it do? It takes time away from healthcare. It takes time away from climate change. It takes time away from foreign policy. It takes time away from unions, from choice, whatever it is that you care about. They had to spend the first significant portion of the debate talking about this thing that everyone agrees on the stage and that Democratic voters even don't really want you to focus on.
It's sucking the oxygen that's out of the room. I mean, I don't want to hear over and over again they can walk and chew gum at the same time, because they can't. It's already not happening. It's the biggest story in the year. Right now, the top of the cable coverage of every morning show in this country is about impeachment. It's not about the Democratic debate last night. They're shooting themselves in the foot by trying to turn this into a referendum on Trump about some highly dubious and weird stuff going on in Ukraine. Go ask people where Ukraine is, okay? Like, most people don't even know where Ukraine is. They're like, oh, yeah, I don't particularly care. There's all these ambassadors and this and that. And it's such a complicated story, which is, you know where the Democrats are actually winning here? They can talk about health care. That's it. How much time do they actually spend on health care last night? Zero.
Well, and here's the other piece. The media is going to want to, just like last time, make it all about Trump.
Yeah.
Trump rates. Their audience, all they've done for these past years since he's been in office is Trump is bad, Trump is bad, Trump is bad. So if you are going to go against that, it's going to take a force of will to focus the conversation in another direction. And if you've got something like impeachment going on, the trial in the Senate, all of that, you can forget about it. We're going to tell you what's on our radars. That's next.